It's also kind of like I told my buddies in college that if your date sits down with you on the couch alone, she's probably already decided that she's okay with a kiss. For the love of humanity and because you and I are so intimately connected, this is the Daily Empowerment Podcast. Daily empowerment to empower you to be wise, to be brave, and to be beautiful. As I've learned about nonlinear goal setting, I found that I get a bit smug. I get very confident about how I'm able to see a bit more of the chessboard. But sometimes that confidence borders on overcompensation. Due to a lack of confidence when my wisdom is put on the spot. I know that if I try to compensate for my lack of confidence, what I like to call Confidensate, that may be slowing down my progress, possibly leading others astray with rushed information and compromising the value of the nonlinear model. As such, I've started referring back to some of my knowledge I gained when I studied economics in order to look at how we price perfect information. Not saying that I have perfect information, but it's a way to begin to look at the costs and begin to try to formulate a model. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about some emotional rationale that we can use when we feel, or when I feel, when you feel, the trigger to confidensate. So in the retail world, if a person comes into the retail store, they've already made the purchase when they came in the door. I'll say that again. If a person comes into a retail store, they've already made the purchase when they came through the door. Most people aren't going to come to a retail store knowing that they sell certain things without an idea of something they already want to buy. Whereas if you walk up to somebody on the street trying to sell them jewelry, it might be a bit of a harder sale than if that person actually walked into a jewelry store. They've already done maybe some research ahead of time. They've already made that decision ahead of time. It's also kind of like I told my buddies in college that if your date sits down with you on the couch alone, she's probably already decided that she's okay with a kiss. So when I feel the desire to confidensate, I try to use that idea as a cue, if somebody asks you a question, they're very rarely challenging your expertise. So you don't need to strong-arm your position with a made-up answer or something that you hope is the right answer. You can be confident that they already see you as an expert, and you can calmly find the best answer for them. Now that I've covered the retail parable behind building some confidence, I want to talk to you a little bit in the next post about how this economic model can help us understand how to respond in a wiser way. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Daily Empowerment Podcast. Daily empowerment to empower you to be wise, to be brave, and to be beautiful. Remember, the views presented here may or may not be those of our management company or our affiliates, and any information you hear should first be reviewed by the corresponding professional, whether that's medical, legal, or financial, before applying it to your life. All rights are reserved by our content's creators.